Rosalie Fern has disappeared and Daniel Foster has been murdered. But before Nick and Nora solve this fascinating case, may I remind you of Woodbury's fascinating offer. Right now, Woodbury Facial Soap is on a money-saving 1-cent sale. When you buy 3 cakes of fragrant Woodbury soap, you get a 4th cake for just a penny more. By taking advantage of this sale, you win 2 ways: a fresher, more enchanting complexion and a generous money saving in your beauty soap. Ladies, do you have complexion worries? If you do, by taking a Woodbury facial cocktail every day like so many glamorous Debs do, you can toss your worries away. Won't you take advantage of this offer to save by stocking up your supply of loveliness for months in advance? Buy Woodbury facial soap not by 4s, but by dozens, while it's still on this fabulous sale. It's a real buy. And now back to Nick and Nora and Inspector Cassidy as they start to work on the murder of Daniel Foster.
How was he killed, Inspector?
You're in the movies now, aren't you, Mr. Charles?
Well, they're going to film one of my cases.
Yes, I read about it in Variety. It said Nick clicks for pics.
What on earth does that mean?
It means, well, I was just wondering, Mr. Charles, if you couldn't cast me as the inspector in your picture.
Well, we'll see what we can do. Now, how was Foster killed, Inspector?
You see, I've always wanted to be in the movies. I really came out here to Hollywood to be an actor, but I had to make money until I got my break, so I became a copper.
How did you say Foster was killed, Inspector?
Poisoned. You see, as police inspector, I thought maybe an important star would be murdered, and I'd meet a picture executive at the investigation who could give me a job.
What kind of poison was it, Inspector?
But no, they never assigned me to the murder of a first-class star.
Any marks on the body?
A skull fracture. Whenever a pipsqueak extra got murdered, I got the case.
But no important executives ever came around.
That's right, never. It was positively criminal.
Yes, I'm inclined to agree with you. What fractured Foster's skull, Inspector?
A blunt instrument. And the trouble is that not as many stars are getting murdered now as in the old days. Yeah, it's most discouraging.
It's discouraging to us, too. But maybe I can do something about it. Darling, do you want any more information from the inspector?
Well, there are some things I'd certainly like to know.
Then, for heaven's sake, give the inspector a job.
Nora, you're a genius. Inspector, you're hired.
You mean I can be an actor?
If you let me consult a corpse about a clue, yes.
Oh, Mr. Charles, I'm overcome. Me, an actor. Well, do you think I'll be a good one?
Well, confidentially, as police inspector, I think you've been a very bad actor.
But in front of the cameras now.
I think you'll shine. Now, Inspector, was anybody seen entering or leaving the apartment?
Well, I don't know. I'm so happy I could fly.
I thought you were going to take off a few minutes ago.
Be an actor.
We're wasting time here, Nora. Come on.
Are you going to the studio now to tell him you've hired me?
No, we're going downstairs to question the elevator boy.
I don't know nothing about it, Mr. Charles. Honest, I don't.
Mr. Foster apparently died on Friday night. His watch was stopped at 11:15. Now, how is it that his body wasn't discovered until today?
I didn't know he was in. He told me he was gone fishing on his boat. I never even went near his room, honest, Mr. Charles.
Did you see any strangers come in or go out?
Come to think of it, I did see a stranger here Friday.
What time?
About 12 o'clock.
What did he look like?
Well, I didn't see him come in, but I saw him go out. He used the stairs, so I just thought he was visiting somebody on the first floor.
What did he look like?
Well, he was about my size.
You sure?
Yeah, a little guy like me.
Who are you protecting? Come clean.
I'm not protecting anybody.
The man who killed Foster was over 6 feet tall.
How do you know?
You did see him then, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
How do you know he was tall, Nick?
They're paving the street out front. The guy who murdered Foster walked through the fresh asphalt, and unfortunately, he left a footprint on Foster's white rug. Now, who was he, son?
I don't know, I tell you, I don't know.
Hey! Well, that came through the window.
You see, Mr. Charles, that proves I didn't do it. Somebody's taking a shot at me.
Yes, they're taking a shot at you, or maybe they're taking a shot at me.
Nick, darling, I don't understand. We set out to solve the disappearance of Rosalie. Now we're working on the murder of Dee Foster.
Well, I have a feeling they're connected.
Why?
I found a monogrammed slip of Rosalie's in Foster's closet.
Then do you think Rosalie killed Foster?
I don't know. You see, there were apparently 2 other people there. The elevator boy saw a little guy leave the apartment, but the footprint shows there was a big guy there, too. I'll answer it. Hello?
Hello? Are you Nick Charles?
Yes.
Mr. Charles, this is Rosalie Fern.
Rosalie?
Yes, I've got to talk fast. I need your help. I'm desperate.
Where are you?
I'm being held prisoner
Prisoner?
at 12 Holliston Street, Pasadena.
Right, I've got it.
Oh, they're coming now. I've got to hang up.
Where is she, Nick?
She says she's being held prisoner in Pasadena. But we're not going there.
We're not. Well, then where are we going?
In the opposite direction, sweet. As soon as I've phoned Inspector Cassidy, we're going to Rosalie Fern's house in Brentwood.
Nick, I still don't understand why you came to Rosalie's house instead of going to Pasadena.
Come, beautiful. No, not to the front entrance. We're going to her bedroom.
But why? You expect to find her lying in bed waiting for us?
Come on, hurry.
Oh, the window's open.
Uh-huh. If I were a Hollywood detective, I'd say my hunch was right. Let's go in.
Shall I turn on the light?
Yes.
Look, the drawer where she kept the jewels is open, and the jewels are gone.
We're too late.
Nick, I don't understand it. Where's her maid?
Here. This note on the phone pad explains that.
What does it say?
12 Holliston Street, Pasadena. That phone call was a plant. Helen the maid got one just the same as we did so that the house would be left unguarded.
Nick.
Yes, I heard it.
The closet. It came from the closet.
You stand here. I'll open the door.
Oh, darling, if he has a gun, tell him we don't want to play.
All right. Come out.
It's the burglar who was here before.
Yeah. Come out. Where are those jewels, and where's Rosalie hiding? Well?
He's the kind that won't talk, Nick?
Uh-huh. Okay, I'll have to search you. Nothing in the outside pockets. I'll try the inside ones.
All right. You win. I have the jewels, but they're mine.
Nick, it's a girl.
Hello, Rosalie.
You're Nick Charles, aren't you?
Yes. Did you kill Foster?
Mr. Charles.
Did you? We found a monogrammed slip in his apartment which belonged to you. Now, you can talk to me without getting in trouble. I may be able to help you.
Yes, I killed him. I didn't mean to, Mr. Charles, but I was desperate. I'd written some foolish letters, and I went to his apartment on Friday night to get them back. The fire tongs were there. Everything went black, I guess. Oh, Mr. Charles, what are they going to do with me?
Nothing.
Nothing. You mean I won't
No, I don't think so. You see, you didn't kill him, Miss Fern.
I didn't. Then who did?
Well, we'll know that as soon as the inspector gets here. Meanwhile, one more question.
Yes.
Is your front lawn sprinkled every evening?
What? Yes. What's that got to do with it?
You'll see.
Good evening, boss. I did everything like you told me, and here we are. Come in, Mr. Solikov.
NC, why didn't you tell me what transposed?
I just found out myself, G.S.
But did you have to tell the police? Couldn't you keep this murder private?
Oh, no. The police are very fussy, G.S. When there's a murder, they like to know about it.
Then we are ruined. Everything will get into the papers, and tomorrow morning I will be allergic to headlines. See? Already.
Come in, Mr. Thomas.
You found Rosalie.
Yes, in men's clothing. She put them on in Foster's apartment on Friday night. Oh, you should have caught that, Cassidy. Did you find out what I asked you about the coroner?
I did, boss, and he said you were right.
I thought so. Rosalie hit Foster with the fire tongs, but that didn't kill him. It was the poison that did that.
Poison?
Kill him.
He was poisoned by a rather tall man. That might be you, Thomas, or it might be you, Solikov.
But it's not me,
I
Nick.
was playing bridge Friday evening. It's not me.
As a matter of fact, I know which of you it was. The lawn outside was sprinkled this evening. When you gentlemen walked in here just now, you left footprints on the rug. The footprint that matches the one in Foster's apartment is the one I want.
That's ridiculous. I wasn't in her apartment.
And neither was I.
May I have a look at your shoes, Mr. Thomas?
Oh, you won't find any tar there.
Why, Mr. Thomas, who told you the footprint in Foster's apartment was made with tar?
Well, why...
Did you tell him, Cassidy?
Didn't you tell me not to, boss?
Nick, stop him. He's trying to get away.
I've got it, Mr. Charles.
Nice going, Cassidy.
It's nothing, Mr. Charles. Wait till I get in front of those cameras.
What's the matter, darling?
Can't sleep. Why did R.T. kill D. Foster?
Now, you promised to wait till morning, N.C.
I know, N.C., but it's keeping me up.
Well, Foster found out that R.T. was cheating on the company. R.T. faced a prison term and killed Foster. Clear?
Mm-hmm. Why did Rosalie disappear?
She socked Foster with the tongs, and she thought she'd killed him. She changed into Foster's clothes, and the elevator boy saw her leave.
I see. Then she tried to get her jewelry.
Uh-huh. She planned to disappear. She couldn't go to the bank for cash, and she needed money. That's why she returned to her house, where we interrupted her.
It sounds so simple when you tell it.
Can you sleep now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't.
Must we?
No. What'll we do? Got any suggestions?
Oh, lots.
Well?
I know a drive-in joint out in the valley where you can get the most luscious cheeseburgers with potato chips. Let's go for a ride, darling.
Before Nick and Nora return to the microphone, may we remind you that right now you can get 4 cakes of Woodbury facial soap practically for the price of 3. Yes, Woodbury facial soap is on a 1-cent sale. Today, the beauty soap of glamorous debutantes costs you no more than the toilet soap you may now be using. But time is growing short. This is the last Thin Man program on which we can say, get Woodbury soap at its money-saving low price. The demand for this beauty bargain is fast exceeding the supply. Women everywhere are stocking up on this exquisite skin soap for weeks to come. So today, before this offer is withdrawn, buy 3 cakes of skin-improving Woodbury soap and get that full-sized extra cake for 1 cent. This 1-cent sale on Woodbury facial soap is fast coming to a close in Canada, too. So, act today.
Nick? Have there ever been any great women detectives?
No.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, women have an occupational handicap. They're too obvious. You can see right through them.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Nora.
Well, I'm giving you fair warning, dear. You are now looking at a female Hawkshaw.
You?
Yes, me.
I'm sorry, honey. You're not the type.
No?
No. No, in dealing with criminals, a detective needs a lot of cunning, guile.
That's just what I was counting on.
Huh?
Darling, didn't you ever learn a miss is as good as her guile?
Be sure to tune in next week and hear the 10th radio adventure of the Thin Man, Ham with Russian Dressing, when Nick and Nora are faced with a baffling murder mystery without a single clue to work on. So remember, for another half hour of mirth and mystery, of laughter and thrills, you have a date with Nick and Nora Charles, the happiest, gayest couple in detective fiction, at this same time next week. The Adventures of the Thin Man are brought to you each week at this same time by the makers of Woodbury Facial Soap for the skin you love to touch. The beauty soap that's now on a money-saving 1-cent sale. Listen next week at this same time for another happy adventure of the Thin Man, Ham with Russian Dressing.
This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.